Hey guys, so we're back again with another reading, and this one is all about what they wish you knew. So, what they wish they could tell you, what they wish their higher self could say to your higher self. So, we're going to tune into the energy of your person, twin flame, soulmate, romantic person in your life and get any messages from them. If it's your first time watching a pick a card, basically you're going to go towards the one your energy is feeling called to and drawn to. And then as soon as you make up your mind on which card is for you, you can scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description and jump right into your pile. So I'm going to show you guys the numbers on each of the piles. This is going to be pile 1. Then we have pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. So I also want to mention to you guys that I do have my Patreon up with a ton of additional readings. I just posted one all about what's coming next in your career, but as soon as you sign up, you get access to all my readings. So over 45 additional readings about life, love, spirituality, money, career, relocation, so many different topics. And we vote on new ones, suggest new ones. So there's a lot of content over there at Patreon. If you like how I read tarot, that's where you can go to see more of it. And I hope to see you guys there. I hope you'll join our little tribe. Like I said, as soon as you sign up, you get access to everything. So I hope to see you guys there. And if you want to join, then just head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description as well. And if you guys would like to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and sign up for a half hour or a full hour session with me, have me pull tarot, channel mediumship, or just channel for you or do astrology for you. You get to really get your choice with how the session goes. But anyways, guys, and so if you want that, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. But that's all I have to say, you guys. So if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need. But we are going to go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So if you guys picked this purple gemstone, this is going to be your reading. So you guys got peaks of joy, deep freeze, and movement. So the first thing I'm picking up on is your person has truly been feeling at a loss since you guys parted ways. Like, I feel like this has been honestly very painful for them. And one thing that's coming through is it's almost like their life hasn't moved forward. I'm hearing stagnation. I feel like even though this person might have seemed to move forward in many ways, like maybe they have done other things with their life, maybe they have gotten a job or been in a new relationship or whatever, it feels to me like they're kind of still stuck back in your relationship and they still replay things and they still think of you quite often. And honestly, I feel like that is like a highlight for them, kind of like nothing else could compare. I feel like their time with you was seriously amazing for them. Like, there were so many highlights. We got peaks of joy, and that's what's coming through for that, is like, this was an incredible time in their life. This was a time of such joy and happiness and pleasure. And it honestly feels to me like anything that's happened since then, it's almost like it pales in comparison. And I feel like this person just keeps hoping and thinking that like maybe one day things are going to get better, or maybe one day they're going to feel about their current partner the way they felt about you, you know, or maybe one day things are going to go back to how it was and they're not going to feel this loss. It's almost like they were running, you know, from you. They were running from the situation or from their feelings, trying to pretend like they didn't feel all this stuff. And I feel like as time goes on, they just realize, like, I'm kind of stuck. I'm hearing that song Right Where You Left Me by Taylor Swift. And that's a really deep song, but the meaning is basically like this girl who's stuck in the past of an old relationship, and she's still in the restaurant where her ex broke up with her because she literally can't move on even years later. She still feels so drawn to that time. And I feel like that's the vibe with this person. There also might be a message about them stepping forward soon to try to reach out to you or to try to make contact with you in some way. Let me get some tarot cards. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say. Spirit, please give us tarot cards for pile 1. And what their person is feeling, thinking towards them, what they want them to know. We got the Two of Swords. So yeah, they might be deliberating or going back and forth about whether they should reach out to you. Because it feels to me like they really want to. Oh my gosh, the Five of Cups. Yeah, they really want to. But I also feel like for them, you know, there is this sense of Like, I feel like this person has a lot of pride, to be honest. And I feel like for the longest time, they didn't want to admit the effect you'd had on them. They didn't want to admit, it might even be something with like their social group being judgmental, or their social group knowing that they had really deep feelings for you and this person being embarrassed. Maybe they didn't want to come off like a simp or like a loser. You know what I mean? And so they just kind of ran from their emotions or just acted like they didn't care. And I feel like now it's like they can't, they're kind of seeing the payoff with that, where like, okay, my friends may think I'm cool now because I broke up with this person, or I stopped talking to them, or I didn't come across clingy or needy or desperate, but now I'm alone and I'm unsatisfied. So I feel like that just kind of weighs on this person, like the dawning realization of what happened. Wow, the Queen of Wands. So they are super, super attracted to you guys, pile one. They find you to be super sexy, super gorgeous, and just almost like, I feel like in a way like a dream person for them, a dream girl or a dream guy, where maybe they have a specific like physical type and you're exactly their physical type. You know, you're like their ideal, or you just are so beautiful, so attractive. I'm hearing ethereal. So there might be something quite ethereal about you guys, pile one. And I feel like this person for the longest time like was kind of ashamed, had a lot of shame dealing with how they felt towards you. They might have even thought that they were crazy or mentally ill because they were like, why can't I stop thinking about my ex? You know, they might have even Googled that. Why can't I stop thinking about my ex-girlfriend? Or why can't I stop thinking about my ex-boyfriend? That might have really been something that went through their mind of like, wow, is there something wrong with me? Like, maybe I'm crazy because I shouldn't be thinking about this person at this point. And all my friends, like if I was to even tell them that I was still thinking about pile one, they'd laugh at me. So I feel like this person carries a lot of it inside of them and doesn't want to tell everyone exactly what's going through their mind, or exactly how often they think of you, and exactly how at a loss they have felt since you exited their life. I feel like for you, with your time with them, it feels like it was very happy. It feels like it was a highlight. It feels like they would like look forward to seeing you and get super excited as they were getting dressed in the morning because they got to see you later, you know, and like would just, you know, roll out of bed like with a spring in their step, just so happy, whistling because they got to see you later that day or something, you know? And I feel like it's almost like they kind of took it for granted, or they might have thought that like, well, whatever, I'll just break up with pile one and there'll be someone else I feel the same way for. This is just how it is when you're in a relationship. You just like someone a lot. And then I feel like they've experienced relationships since where they're like, oh, okay, so when am I going to start feeling this way again? When am I going to have the same feelings towards my current partner that I did towards pile one? And like it's never happening, and it just doesn't happen. I'm hearing you guys are quite a lot of fun to be around. Something about your smile and your laugh is very attractive and infectious. Like it's almost like a little kid's laugh, or there's something kind of mischievous about it. There's something kind of like laughing and fun. And I feel like this person just, they could listen to you laugh all day long. They could listen to you talk. They could listen to you like sing. I don't know if you guys sometimes sing when you're like happy, but I'm feeling like some of you guys sing or sing in the shower or something, but there's something kind of playful and fun and excitable and exciting about you guys. And I feel like that's what this person really loved, but it's almost like they felt threatened by that at the same time because you guys are quite a free spirit. So maybe they had their friends saying something like, yeah, like, bro, she's flirting with you, but she probably flirts with everyone. Like, she seems like that kind of person. Like, she's just, you know, she has the waiter falling in love with her, and she has that person falling in love with her. Like, just, like she's probably not even thinking of you. Like, I feel like this person, you know, there was an element of being worried about what other people would say. I feel like in a way, because this person liked you so much, they did worry about coming off like a simp or a munch or something like that. You know, someone who is just embarrassingly into someone. Like, this person definitely didn't want to seem, and I feel like a lot of it had to do with their friend group or people observing it, or this idea of others watching and seeing how much, in a way, I feel like this person was afraid they liked you more than you liked them. That might have been a big worry for them, is like, pile one, like, I don't know if you guys didn't communicate your feelings back, but I feel like in a way this person was very afraid that their feelings towards you were just they were on their own, you know what I mean? And yes, you are attractive, but that's because you're this Queen of Wands, and you're probably that way with everyone, because the Queen of Wands isn't just the Queen of Wands when she's with the King of Wands. She's the Queen of Wands, period, like all the time. And I feel like this person kind of felt like, oh, this is just how they are. They're probably just so flirtatious and attractive that like anyone would fall in love. And in a way, like maybe they thought you weren't as loyal to them or something, or that you were talking to other people, that you might have been like dating around or like using them or something like that. Like your feelings weren't in it. You know what I mean? Let me get some song cards for pile 1. Spirit, please, can you give me some song cards? Oh, this one's folded over. Let me just fix that. Okay, Spirit, please give me some song cards. How did that get folded? For pile 1. Okay, so we got bruises, chairlift. Never gonna give you up, the Black Keys. I'm closing my eyes for these, by the way. White Mustang, Lana Del Rey, and Always in My Head, Coldplay. So they think of you a lot. They think of you all the time. Super Bass, Nicki Minaj, There Is a Light That Never Goes Out, The Smiths. And let's get like a couple more. Bleed to Love Her. Oh my God. Wow. If there's anyone that fits this reading, it's probably Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac. As I mentioned before, that whole saga with Fleetwood Mac is like super interesting. And I heard, you guys know I don't like watch movies and stuff, so I have not seen it, but what I heard is that new movie Daisy Jones and the Six is based off of that. So if anyone liked that movie, like look up the whole Lindsey Buckingham and what's her name, Stevie Nicks thing, because it's seriously interesting. But anyway, like I was saying, talk about an obsessed man who like wanted to seem cool and didn't want his feelings known. Like that's definitely the vibe. Somehow being concerned with the feelings of others, but obsessively thinking about someone and not feeling that same connection and trying to move on and trying to be into someone else and trying to, you know, act like I moved on. I don't even care about this person. I don't even think about them. There's also this fear. This person really thinks that you might have been a player, or you might have been into like talking to other people, or like flirting with other people, or you're just a charmer in general. Like I feel like they feel like a lot of people might have fallen in love with you. So it's almost like this person was on guard about you. You know, they would feel like if you were talking to them and flirting with them, like, oh, they don't really have those intentions. Their intentions aren't pure. They're just wanting attention, or they just do this to everyone. They make everyone fall in love with them. And like, I feel like this person it's almost like they were fighting their feelings. Their feelings for you were super strong. They had this deep connection with you. But then I also feel like they really, 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 you know, they were possessive, but it's almost like they didn't want to be possessive and they didn't want to come off possessive. So it's like there's a lot of mental conflict going on in their mind. I feel like it's almost like they have these very competing beliefs. On one hand being possessive of you, on the other hand being determined to come off like, I don't care. I'm totally nonplussed here. I don't care what you do. And then on one hand being super into you, but not really wanting to be into you. You know, being just like wanting to know what you're doing at all times, but again, trying to act like they don't care. I do feel like this person probably checks your social media a lot, but probably does it very surreptitiously, probably tries to hide it, probably doesn't want people to know about that, and wouldn't like directly follow you under their username, but would probably use like a throwaway account or something like that. This person also feels to a certain extent like you kind of messed them up. Like you kind of left bruises on them and you kind of hurt their heart. You know, they are in an energy of feeling like pile 1 like did a number on me. They might have even told that to people, like maybe not their friends, again, because I feel like they just try to come off very cool with their friends, but it might have been like when they met their new partner or their current partner, they might have told their partner this whole story about like, well, I had an ex, but you know, they blah 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 and they really hurt me. I almost feel like you might be a topic of conversation in the relationship where their new partner might be aware of you and might be like kind of jealous or checking on your social media or trying to see what you're up to and kind of copying things a little bit, because I do feel like they're Their new partner is aware of you. And obviously, I doubt this person told their new partner, like, oh, I'm madly in love with pile one and I can't get over them and I'm obsessed, because people don't really say their intentions like that. But they probably were like bringing you up, and they could maybe tell. It's like when you're on a date with someone and they suddenly start bringing up their ex-girlfriend and wanting to talk all about them. And you're like, okay, so I guess you're not over them then. And I feel like there were conversations like that were had, like this person just bringing you up out of the blue, and maybe their partner noticing but not wanting to break up with this person, or still being like, well, this person's a catch, whatever, they're clearly not over their ex, but I'm just going to kind of pretend that's not happening. So yeah, I feel like it's funny, I feel like they kind of talk and bond about you. They might even talk about you negatively as a bonding thing, but it's like deep down it's because this person still isn't over you. Let me get some more cards. What does pile one's person wish they could tell pile one? What did they wish they could tell pile one? What is this? The Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help. What did they wish they could tell pile one? What did they wish they could tell pile one? Because the first thing I'm getting is like, if their higher self were to come through, I feel like they would tell you how much they did really love you. And in a way, this person, Desert Prince, Survival, False Promises, is the perfect card for them, because I feel like this person, it's almost like they felt like they were in survival mode. I feel like in a way, maybe they have like an unhealthy attachment style or something, like avoidant, or whatever the other one is, overly attached, whatever, anxious attached, where maybe they felt like you were almost like a threat to them. Like, I feel like in a way this person had like an oppositional attitude towards you. Like, in a way, I feel like because they liked you so much, it kind of scared them. Like, that's why probably they can deal with their current partner, is because with their current partner, it feels to me like they don't really care. It feels to me like whoever they're with now, if they are with someone, like it's not a big deal to them. They can kind of act however with this person, and this person will just tolerate it. Whereas it feels like with you, you're very feisty, and you guys are the Queen of Wands. Look, she's even popping out. Like, I tried to cover her up with another card and she was like, nope, I'm still gonna be center stage. And I feel like that's kind of you. Like, there's something feisty, and there's something like, I just heard nobody puts baby in a corner from Dirty Dancing, but like, I feel like nobody puts you in the corner, and no one, you're always going to have this magnetic center stage energy, and you're not going to tolerate anything that is disrespectful or not what you deserve. So I feel like in a way, this person, they kind of just were intimidated by you. They were intimidated by the idea of dating someone like you, having you around, and having, people see you guys, seeing the dynamic in a way, because I feel like you guys just command respect. You won't tolerate anything less than respect. So maybe some of you guys even wear the pants in your relationship, and maybe this person kind of is looking for someone that's more of a doormat, someone they can kind of push around a little bit and do whatever to. And I feel like because you guys have you have so many options. First of all, you guys are, I think, very strikingly attractive. So you probably get asked out a lot, or have lots of romantic prospects, or at least that's how this person perceives you. And I feel like in a way, like, they didn't want that smoke, they didn't want that heat. They didn't want that competition. They just wanted to be able to feel like the powerful one in the relationship. And so I feel like in a way, this person sabotaged it because they couldn't handle that. And now they're with someone that probably makes things a lot easier and doesn't demand as much of them. But it's like they can't stop looking back and ruminating about your time together. It feels to me like the connection you had was almost like chemistry. It was so intense. It was very like just an energy floating in the air, like just something that you can't really put a name on. It's not even about like, oh, we had good conversation, or we have the same family background, or we share a culture, or anything that kind of makes sense. It was just like this instant, nonsensical, just passion, energy, draw to each other. And I feel like because of that, this person kind of maybe even told themselves, just, it doesn't make sense, so just get over it, just move on, just pay attention to someone else and just forget pile one. But I feel like in a way they can't forget you. And I feel like that's the thing. The funny thing is they have tried so hard to forget you. They have tried so hard to move on from you. If anyone has like fought these feelings for the hardest, longest time, it's this person. They didn't want to acknowledge the effect you had on them, and they didn't want to acknowledge how rare you were to them. I almost feel like this is because when they were around you or they were dating you, their friends might have teased them and said like, oh my God, you're a simp, or you're obsessed. Like you don't realize it, but you've been talking about pile one every single time you say anything. Like the conversation turns to you and you just randomly make it about pile one, and like, dude, we're sick of hearing you talk about her. You know what I mean? Or we're sick of hearing you talk about him. But I feel like their friends were aware of it, or their family, and this person kind of, it's almost like they had to save face. You know what I mean? I feel like they had to like show everyone or make some big public demonstration of like, no, it's not that deep. I don't care. So now though, I feel like in a way they're kind of going crazy, because also some of you guys, they don't know what you're doing right now. They might be lurking your social media, but they have no idea what you're up to. They really have no clue what you guys have been doing, what you guys have been saying, who you've been talking to, where you are, what you've been up to, blah, 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 all those details. I feel like a lot of you guys have been hiding that, or just not hiding it, but you haven't been airing yourself out as much on social media. And so I feel like this person is just very like fiending to know like what is going on. Why is pile one not showing themselves? Like it's almost like this person feels like they had a contract with you that they could lurk remotely and sneakily hide around and not really show their intentions. And I feel like at a certain point you were like, no, you don't get access to my energy, and you don't get to check my pictures and like look at my beautiful face anymore. Like you're blocked, or I'm going on private and I'm removing any anonymous accounts I don't recognize, or I'm just not posting for a while. But there's like a limit that you put, I feel, and this person is definitely not happy about that. Let's get some more cards from this deck and figure out what else this person wants pile one to know. What does this person want pile one to know? What do they want pile one to know? I feel like this person, honestly, I feel like they either dream about you or they just fantasize meeting up with you again and like going on vacation with you in particular, like going to some spot away from everyone. And as I'm saying that, we get connected with nature. That's kind of funny, because I'm literally seeing people like walking on a beach together. I feel like this person fantasizes about getting to take you away and go somewhere, you know, just the two of you, away from like their friends, away from like the discourse. Because it's almost like again, I feel like this person's a little embarrassed that even after all these years they still think of you. And I just heard that song Still Into You by Paramore. Like I feel like they tried so hard to stop thinking of you. They've tried everything. Like if they could have gotten hypnotized, or if they could have like they've done everything under the sun. You know how they'll say, oh, we'll date someone else, or like, as I'm saying that, declutter. They tried to declutter you out of their life. They've tried to remove you, but it's like you just won't go. Like I feel like there's something intoxicating about your energy to them, and also very inspiring. They might have literally written something about you guys, or like written music about you, or created art about you. Like you might have inspired them to like take certain photographs, or to create some kind of art, paintings, writings, music, whatever. I feel like you are so inspiring to them, and you have that kind of quality yourself of being very creative. And I feel like you kind of brought that out in them a little bit. This person is so funny, because they're like trying to get me to continue the reading, because they're like, I want to spend more time with pile one. I want to tell pile one more stuff, but like I have to kind of make the readings fast today because I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. So this person needs to come through like immediately with whatever else they need to say. Otherwise, we're going to move on. Okay, so now they're kind of saying that it's like, they're like, okay, I didn't want to admit it. Earlier, I was kind of like being a little cagey, and they were, but they're like, no, but honestly, like I'm starting to recognize now. This person has made some changes lately, is what they're telling me. about their life. So I guess maybe in the past, again, they were still in that runner energy. And even at the beginning of the reading, kind of still like try to play it cool to a certain extent. But they're telling me they've finally started the introspection process. And I'm hearing some of you guys roll your eyes and be like, oh my God, oh really? Oh, they're finally going to introspect. But they're like, no, I really am. Actually, I feel like this person might have seen some kind of piece of literature, a movie or a song or something, or some kind of something happened where it's made them think about your relationship, and it's made them realize that they were running away. It's made them be more aware that the feelings with you were real. I almost feel like this person is in a space or surrounded by some people that aren't super romantic and aren't the type to be like, oh, that's the one, and probably never use the word twin flame or soulmate and might not be aware of any of that stuff. So they might have felt like, again, really stupid, crazy, dumb that they were still thinking of you. And I feel like now there might have been some kind of thing they've seen or watched that has made them finally admit to themselves that they have to be honest about these emotions. And so it's funny, one of the first things I said is you might be hearing from them soon. And I'm not saying all of you guys are going to hear from this person imminently, but I feel like we always have freedom of choice. So they still have the choice whether they want to actually allow these feelings to fully unfold. But I feel like for them, for the first time, there's kind of like a door opening where they're not completely closed off and just set on being in runner mode and just set on avoiding. Feels like now they're finally like, oh, you know what? I might have to deal with this. I might have to be honest and open. So yeah, some of you guys might be hearing from this person. I feel like they're kind of at the beginning of this stage of starting to really relinquish their feelings instead of holding them so tight and pretending like they don't exist and pushing the door away to block you out. It feels like now they're like, I've got to make some concessions. And I do honestly feel like for some of you guys, you're going to be like, I don't even believe it. But really, it feels like they're beginning on that path and they have had some kind of revelation or some kind of trigger of something that has brought up these feelings and forced them to kind of be honest with themselves. Maybe they watched a movie or they saw a TV show or something, but something about them is finally shifting in the direction of wanting to really stop running and stop pretending and stop being dishonest about it and just come clean. So they probably do dream about you. I feel like they have been trying to reach you on the astral plane lately, much more so than before. You might be like, oh, I've been thinking of them all the time lately. And I think a lot of people are going to be doing that as Saturn is shifting into Pisces. People are going to just be more emotional and not going to be able to run away from that, because keep in mind, Pisces is kind of a higher octave of Venus. Venus is exalted in Pisces. So I think a lot of people who might have been able to suppress things in the past, as we have more Pisces energy around us, they're not going to be able to do that as much. So anyways, guys, I think that's what I have for you. Pile 1, I really hope it resonated. Please let me know if it did in the comments. I really love hearing from you guys. So I would love to know what this situation is for you and how it applied to your life or your relationship. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button if it did resonate, and make sure to subscribe. And hit the bell, turn notifications on so you can find out as soon as I post and be the first to know. And if you guys would like to see more of my readings, then head on over to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one all about your career situation and what's happening next with that. So it's a really good one. And of course, when you sign up, you get access to all my readings. So career readings, spirituality readings, money readings, love readings, 18+ readings, relocation readings, so many different topics to choose from. And like I said, you get access to all of them. I think we have 45+ now, so lots and lots to get through. So that's where you can find me. If you want to see more of my stuff, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description if you'd like to join my Patreon, and I hope to see you guys there. And then if you guys want to get a private one-on-one session with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Link is in my description for that as well. And sign up for a half hour or a full hour session with me. Have me pull tarot for you, channel mediumship, channel intuitively, or do astrology, or do a mix. You get to kind of decide how it goes, and you get to decide the length of the session, whether it's a year ahead reading, love reading, whatever. You get to kind of pick. So anyway, I'd love to do a reading for you. Head to my website, briarrosetarot.com for that, and the link is in the description for that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you guys very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey pile 2, welcome to your reading. So if you guys picked this green jade crystal, this is going to be your reading. Anyways, guys, let's get into your cards. You guys got intention, listening, and details. So I feel like this person might very much still have the intention to get back together with you guys. It feels like to them, I'm hearing that line from the notebook, it's not over, it still isn't over. And I feel like this person kind of still thinks of you as theirs. Like it's almost like they're coming through a little possessive and very much concerned with you being with someone else or you possibly dating someone else. So I don't know if some of you guys have like been doing that lately, but that might be something that's on this person's mind a lot. It feels like they're saying something about you guys trying to end the connection. Maybe energetically you have been trying, yeah, Six of Swords reverse. Maybe some of you guys have been trying to cut them off on the astral plane or not allow them to enter into your energetic space anymore. And this person is definitely not about that. And they are finding that hard. And they're kind of like, how dare this person do that, to be honest, because I feel like they feel you have a really strong connection with them and that like it's almost like, okay, yeah, I know we're not together in the physical, but like how could you possibly disconnect me on the astral plane? Like, you know, we have that kind of relationship and like this is just totally not cool is kind of what's coming through. Let me get more tarot cards for pile 2. What message do they have for pile 2? What message does pile 2's person have for them? What do they want pile 2 to know? What would they say to them? Okay, that was the 5 of Pentacles. So with the 5 of Pentacles coming out, yeah, they honestly, I feel like there's something about them saying like you were there for me, you were always there for me, maybe even just astral plane wise. Like maybe they felt like they could come talk to you on the astral plane when things weren't going well in their life, or even if they were in another relationship. Like, yeah, maybe they were in a relationship with someone, but they always felt like you were there to listen. We just got the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. So they might have felt like you were very nurturing. Maybe some of you guys have Cancer in your chart. But I feel like this person never really thought that you were actually going to cut them off. I feel like this person always thought that on some level they could come to you and you were going to be around. And I feel like to a certain extent, they still have the intention to step back to you. They're like, if only pile 2 would cooperate, if only pile 2 would like allow this to happen, then I could make it happen a lot easier. I feel like this person is kind of plotting and planning like how they can get back into your life. They might be sending you messages through music or through songs as a way to kind of get your attention, because I feel like this person has a major fear that you've moved on or are in the process of moving on, maybe dating someone new or something like that. But the idea for them of you dating someone else is like completely and totally unacceptable and something they are definitely fighting hard against. And I feel like they are going to go out of their way to try to make that not happen. And one of the ways they might do that is by sending you messages through songs. So you might like turn on the radio and it's, you know, normal music being played, and then suddenly like boom, some random super obscure love song that always reminds you of this person comes on, and you're like, why is this being played on the radio when this song is from like 2002 or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, I haven't heard this song in ages, and now why are they playing it? This is really odd. Like, this is like a modern music station and they're playing this random song. I feel like this person does that to send messages to you about their feelings for you, because one thing they're afraid of is that right now you guys are moving on, blocking them on the astral plane, and again, starting to date someone else. I'm hearing living your best life. So this person might be afraid that you're going out on dates, partying, and yeah, having a lot of fun with these Page of Wands, so that you are like living it up, living, like I said, your best life and having a blast. And that's not something I feel like this person is okay with. They're almost like, that wasn't a part of the script. Like, they were supposed to be sitting at home miserable waiting for me. They were supposed to be lost and sad and missing me, and instead it feels like you're actually cutting them off on the astral plane. Like, you're completely kind of done with them. I don't know what this person did, but I feel like some of you guys are just like moving on with your life or whatever, or you have set that intention, and some of you guys are living like an actually really fun life. Yeah, And it might be something that you're shaping up to do that is very solid and like has a long-term potential. So maybe like you're starting a relationship and it's not just going to be a fling, or you're starting like a business idea and it's going to be super lucrative. But I feel like a lot of you guys are making these really positive strides in your life, and this person kind of doesn't want to see you changing. They wanted you to just be sitting around lovesick over them like forever. We got Bleed to Love Her, Lindsey Buckingham. I'm going to close my eyes as I pull these. I Want to Be Yours, Arctic Monkeys. Waiting in Vain, Bob Marley. Delicate, Taylor Swift. This person, it's funny, you know what they're coming through with me to say? Sex with my ex, Lil Peep. Wow. This person is coming through. It's so funny they're like saying stuff to me about like, you know, this is like this is like weird and cringe to say back, but kind of like, you know, no one's gonna be as good as me. Like, come on, you know, no one can like make you feel good like I can, and you know, blah blah blah. Like, it's almost like they're spitting game to me to try to spit game to you, and I'm like, I'm not gonna say that. Like, what? Why are you trying to convince me? Like, I'm not gonna say that in a reading, and that's not gonna like work on this person anyway. But it's so funny because it's almost like they're trying to sweet talk you through me, and they're hoping I'm gonna like spit game to you guys and say like, hey, you should get back with this person. They're probably really good in bed, but it's like, no. But it's really funny. I feel like this person, you know, they kind of are like scheming on like, okay, how can I, and I feel like they also are very much thinking about like the bedroom vibe between you guys. And like, I don't know if it was really good if they were really good in bed, or you guys just had really good chemistry in bed. But I feel like this person is like, come on, like no one else can have this kind of connection that we can have, and no one else can make each other feel so good, so turned on the same way that we did to each other. Honestly, I feel like some of these people, like they might have dated someone else, or they might be in another relationship, but in their mind, they're like, you know, this other relationship doesn't even count and doesn't matter. Like, you know that this other relationship I'm in is like a blip on the radar. It's not as real as we were. It's not the same level of depth. It's not the same connection. And so I feel like this person's kind of outraged, even if they were dating someone else. Like, they really thought you were always going to wait around, and they're kind of outraged by the fact that you've started cutting them off on the astral plane, and you've stopped like energetically responding to them, or maybe not responding to them in real life, like blocking their texts or something like that. But honestly, it feels like some of you guys put up a boundary with this person, and I feel like it's almost like it took them a while to notice, because at first they honestly, I feel like, thought that you were just always going to be there. Like, the connection you guys had was so deep and so intense that like nothing could get in the way of it. And if you were temporarily not responding on the astral plane, that was just because you were taking time to yourself, and you would be right back, you know, that kind of vibe. And I feel like now it's starting to dawn on them, like, I really haven't heard from Pile 2 in a while. Has Pile 2 blocked me up there? Have they asked their guides to block me? Like, what is going on? Why can't I access their energy in the same way? So if you have put an energetic block up, it seems like it's working really well. And I feel like this person can't dip into your energy in the same way they could. So I do feel like they might be trying to get information out about you guys. They might be like really scouring your social media, or asking their friends about you, or something like that. But I feel like this person, you know, it's almost like they have some grand plan that in the future they're going to come back to you. In the future, you guys are going to somehow magically get back together. They're going to reach out to you out of the blue, and maybe like, you know, however many years or months or weeks. And I feel like in a way though, it feels like a pie in the sky idea. It feels like something that they haven't actually like thought through all the details about. They're just thinking like, one day I will, one day I'll muster up the courage. But whenever it comes time to send that text, or to actually shoot it out and be brave and make the phone call, they end up chickening out. But honestly, I feel like they think of you so much. Honestly, it's giving me a little bit like obsessed Scorpio vibes, with how much they think of you and how much they're aware of you. I feel like they're very aware of you. Like, I feel like you might not even notice this. This person might be highly psychic, but I feel like up on the astral realm, they kind of keep track of your activities. They might not consciously be aware of that, but they might have inklings like, oh, I wonder if Pile 2 is traveling, and then you're traveling that week. Or I wonder if pile two, they were always really good at reading, and that week you're really obsessed with reading all the time. That's how sometimes you can have a connection on the astral plane. You're just vaguely aware of what the other person is doing, even if it's not conscious. But I feel like this person very much kept tabs on you in that way, and it was kind of reassuring for them. Like when they would get stressed or when they would get upset, they would come visit you, maybe especially while you were sleeping or dreaming, and you guys would enter each other's dream space and kind of hang out there. And now it feels like there's something that's happened where you're like very much removing yourself from this. And I feel like this person just feels kind of like they just got robbed or had something stolen from them, and they're kind of just like processing, like, wait, how did this happen? And honestly, when it comes to like if they are with this person currently, it's funny because I feel like they kind of think of this current person as like a joke, or like not even comparing to you. I don't know if this person they're with currently is kind of a doormat or just lets them do whatever, or some of them might be single, to be honest. But it's giving an energy of like, I don't really care about this person, and you know it. Like, come on, this person doesn't compare. But if they are with someone, it might be because this person just makes their life easier. Like it might be the kind of relationship where one person is doing everything for the other, one person is like cooking and cleaning for them or paying for everything for them, but it doesn't feel like an equal relationship that they would enter into if it wasn't for the perks. Whereas I feel like they would be with you even if they had no perks at all. So it's kind of funny, like they're with this person, yes, but like their heart is very much with you. They're telling me like you're really funny and witty, and some of you guys have a really amazing sense of humor. And they like sometimes like to like tease you guys or kind of joke around with you like that. And I think in a way, like they always thought they could have that like kind of not so serious vibe with you. Like in a way, they felt like not that you like, kind of like you would always be there, or like, oh, okay, like pile two isn't super sensitive, pile two is super cool, pile two is chill. You know what I mean? Not like super deep feelings. I mean, the feelings were deep, but not thinking of you as you having deep feelings, and kind of feeling about you that like, oh, they'll always be there, they'll always be around, is kind of a vibe I'm getting a little bit of. Like I feel like they cared a lot about you, and they still do. They still have those deep feelings, but there's also this sense of like, well, pile two is not going to go anywhere. I mean, we're always going to like be the person for each other's lives. We're always going to be around. We're always going to be able to contact each other. I'll call them whenever. And I feel like you're like, no, dude, like you're not here in my life, then we're not, don't call me and don't talk to me, and that's it. And I feel like that's what this person's like having a hard time with, because it's almost like they might kind of have too much of a sense of humor or not be able to take things as serious as they should. Let me get some more cards. We got the Ice Queen, ideas preserved, non-action, entitlement, the Queen of the Light, illumination, enlightenment, celebration. So I do feel like this person kind of looks up to you, but it almost feels like they are a bit of a mess inside themselves as well. Like I feel like they sometimes can be a little bit of a disaster, or just have trouble being disciplined about certain things, and like getting things done that they're supposed to get done, and like I said, taking things serious. Like they might have a habit of just laughing off serious situations that they should take seriously. And I almost feel like that was the vibe with you as well, where like maybe you had a discussion with them of like, no, I really need you to take this serious. I really need you to take Valentine's Day serious and like actually buy me chocolates. And this person like laughed it off and was like, oh, whatever, pile two will always be there, or something like that. I almost feel like maybe there was an ultimatum, or you just got sick of their inaction. You just got sick of them like talking a good game or being connected with you on the astral plane, but not taking action in life. And there was some point of you getting fed up. But I think you need to know that this person does really look up to you. They do respect you so much. And I feel like in a way, like they thought of you as like like it's almost like that Cancer caretaking vibe, as someone they could look up to, as someone who would kind of take care of them, as someone who could always be there, because I feel like this person feels kind of inadequate themselves. And I feel like this is probably something they never actually told you, because again, it's kind of a wound for them. Like it might stem from childhood, but it feels like they don't have fully the sense of self-worth, and maybe that's why they never felt powerful enough to step towards you and to like fully confess their feelings. They might not have felt good enough for you. They might have felt like you were just too good for them, too perfect for them, and that like in comparison with you, they were always gonna not measure up. So it's like, what's even the point? What's even the point of stepping towards pile 2? What's even the point of trying with pile 2? But I do feel like they think that the connection you guys have on some level is super deep and inescapable, and something they just can't get enough of. I want to go back to this. Delicate, Taylor Swift, Sex with My Ex, Lil Peep. So yeah, honestly, I feel like for them, the connection you guys have, like it feels like it almost never got fully realized and never got to fully blossom or bloom into what it was supposed to be, into everything it was supposed to turn into. But they have a lot of thoughts and ideas of exactly what it could have been, what it should have been, and what it could be one day. I do feel like they have the intention of getting back together with you in the future, and almost like that might have to do with their sense of self-worth. Like sometimes we have these ideas of like, well, one day when I do this, that's when I'll do this. Like one day when I have, 50 extra pounds of muscle on my body, that's when I'll enter a bodybuilding competition or something like that. Or one day when I have $1 million, that's when I'll do this. And I feel like for them, like they have this idea of like one day coming towards you and being a lot better than they are now and sweeping you off your feet. And that's why maybe they're in a little bit of a panic. Maybe they sense some of you guys have moved on or are in another relationship, but there is this sense of like, how did things change? Why did things change? That's really unfair. Things shouldn't have changed. And yeah, just thinking that you were always going to kind of be around. I'm going to spin the astro dice. What astrological energies are at play for pile 2, Spirit? What astrological energies are at play for pile 2? So we got the moon, Cancer, and then we have Taurus, and then we have the 9th house, Sagittarius. Wow, that makes a lot of sense. And like that Cancer energy has been popping up throughout the reading. So I do feel like there was an energy again of you kind of looking after them, helping them, taking care of them somewhat. And you guys also having that connection on the astral plane. This person might also have very psychic placements themselves. But I feel like sometimes they're just a little bit of a mess. They're just a little bit of someone who like can't get their life together, and kind of that watery Piscean way of just like, oh God, I'm supposed to file taxes. Oh gosh, I'm supposed to do this. So I feel like they really looked up to and revered the way you handle your stuff. Also, this person, it feels to me like they might have even been someone who was kind of relationship avoidant or something like that. And someone who I feel like just likes to march to the beat of their own drum, or that might be you as well. But I feel like they want you to know that if they were relationship avoidant, or they didn't like step towards you in the way that you wanted, it doesn't mean that their feelings weren't there. This person has a lot of inner growth to do, and that's what they're communicating. Is like they have been working on themselves, they're trying to work on themselves. They just want you to be there on the other side when they do come back. And by the way, I am not saying that like you guys have to wait for them. I would never advocate that for anyone. I think it's really important for us to do what's the best thing for us and not make bets on anyone else's actions, because of course everyone has freedom of choice and they could go one direction, they could go another. But I do feel like this person is hoping you're going to be waiting for them, hoping you're going to be staying around. They did have a really deep love for you guys, and I feel like especially underpinning all this person's, it's almost like bravado, or like I said, like they kind of act like they're being comical about things, like they're laughing, or they're kind of like not taking it so serious, and kind of that Sagittarian, like Jupiter kind of like humorous vibe. But actually deep down, I feel like there's so many deep emotions that this person maybe just didn't feel comfortable with expressing, even to themselves, but underneath it, it's almost like they have a lot of healing work to do themselves with, I feel like, their sense of self-worth and maybe their discipline. But also, I feel like if they could work through it, the connection that's underneath all of this is really amazing. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys are twin flames, because I feel like some of you guys have a lot of parallels with like maybe certain things you had to work on. Like maybe you've done a lot of the work, but maybe you had your own issues with lack of self-worth, or you guys just had similar wounds somehow. But I feel like this person is kind of waiting for you, even if it may not seem like that, even if it seems like they're with someone else. I feel like they really have their heart set on you, you know. Actually, I feel like their heart is quite loyal to you guys, even if they are sleeping with someone else or dating someone else or whatever. At the end of the day, like, I feel like they would think of you when they were with this person. And I know it sounds crazy that someone can be in another relationship and be being loyal to someone, but I really do feel like, I mean, honestly, their feelings for you are coming through very strong as like, this is my person, I'm theirs. And they're kind of bewildered why you have like cut them off on the astral plane and stopped talking to them there. Like, I feel like they're literally like in shock. Like they can't understand it. But yeah, let me get some of these cards as well to end off the reading. So Spirit, we want to know, what would pile two's person say to them? What would pile two's person say to them? What would pile two's person say to them? And honestly, they see you guys as so beautiful. Look at this. Love is in the air. Wow. I'm telling you, they really do have very strong feelings for you. I just wish this person was better at expressing themselves. I feel like sometimes they truly do play the clown. Like, I'm hearing tears of a clown, where I feel like sometimes they act like goofy, or like it's not that deep, like they don't care so much. They might have heavy Sagittarian placements, or like, oh my god, like I don't care, I'm not thinking about it like that, but actually they really do. They might act among their friend group like, you know, like it was no big deal, the relationship didn't matter, they moved on or whatever. But I feel like deep down, like their feelings for you, almost like they might cry looking at a photo of you or something like that. The ship has sailed. I think they're starting to realize that now, and that's starting to kind of dawn on them that she might have moved on. Disconnect. Yep, that's what I'm sensing from your side, not from their side. And they're like, what, how, when did this happen? Like, I feel like they're just kind of coming to terms with it. I don't know if it's recently that you guys started doing that, but it feels to me like it, like in their mind they noticed it recently, and they're like, this is new, this just happened and it shouldn't have happened. And like, it's almost like the vibe of how they're talking to me is kind of like when you call in customer service because there's like an error, like you're like, oh, by the way, like my Wi-Fi stopped working, can you guys send over a technician, this is crazy, I can't connect suddenly. Or like, hi, yeah, I just bought this brand new TV, but like the colors are weird on it and I think there's something wrong, but I know you guys can just send out someone to get it fixed quick. Like, I feel like this person just assumes or is just thinking that like y'all are gonna just reconnect and that things are gonna be back to where they were, and that, you know, you guys will be good with each other. And I don't know if that's where you guys are at, because it feels like for me, some of you guys got sick of waiting for this person and you are ready to move on. Let me get some final tarot for you guys as well. Pile two, we want to get some final tarot. What does this person have to say to them? They just told me, I'm not ready yet, but I will be. I'm not ready yet, but I will be in the future. So they want you to wait around for them. They want you to still be there. They want you to know that just because you haven't heard from them doesn't mean they're not thinking of you, caring about you. Look at that. 8 of Wands reverse, Page of Swords reverse. I'm telling you, they really do feel like they are going to step forward. They want to step forward for you, but right now it's reversed. And right now they're not able to like do that, but they want to and they intend to in the future. Then we got the Hermit as well. So it may not seem like they are alone. For some of you guys, you might be thinking, well, they're in a relationship or they're married or whatever, but in their mind, like, they've still been loyal to you. I know that makes no sense, but that's what they're telling me. Or it might be that you're the Hermit. I also feel like some of you guys, they can see the growth you've been doing. They can see all the shadow work you guys have been working on, and they just have so much respect for that. They want you to know how much in awe they are of you. They see everything you guys are doing, and they honestly like look up to you, wish they could be like you, think of you guys as amazing, think of you guys as like these leaders for them. And I feel like in a way they have modeled themselves off of you. Whatever you're doing in your life, they think is like super cool. So if you guys have been doing something different, like maybe you took a new job or you've been doing something a little outside the box for yourself. Maybe you've even been posting something on social media and you're kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of iffy about this. This person sees it and they're just so supportive. They're like your biggest fan. You know, they think what you're doing is amazing. And I feel like it's also inspired them to step into their own power and do some self-work, growth work themselves, and try to work on things, but they want you to wait for them. And they're like, please, can we just hang out on the astral plane? Like, if I can't see you in real life because of circumstances, and I know some of that is my fault and I'm acknowledging that, but can we please just hang out on the astral plane? Please, 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 is kind of how they're coming through to me. Now they're begging a little bit. I feel like this person is finally admitting that they're a bit of a mess to themselves. They're finally admitting their own flaws and their own issues. And in a way, it feels like for the longest time, they just ran away from this. They would just laugh it off, or they would just act like, you know what, I'm fine, or I don't have issues, or I'm having a blast, I'm dating. But now they're like, yeah, I get it. I have issues. And pile two is I can see you moving on and flourishing, and I can see you doing the shadow work and the shadow work paying off. Now I can fully acknowledge that, like, I'm pretty messed up and I have a lot of stuff to work through. So I feel like, you know, they're kind of, in a way, even if they don't like it, they're also grateful somewhat. I don't know if I should say grateful, but they're acknowledging the work you guys have done on yourselves, and how you guys have, maybe you blocking them on the astral plane has benefited them somehow because it's caused them to do the introspection. And they do want to just give you props because it feels like you guys are being very selfish lately, and I'm hearing Selfish by Britney Spears. I love that song. But in a good way. Like, it's like you're thinking of yourself now. Whereas before, I don't know, maybe some of you guys were codependent with this person, or you overgave to them, or you would like help them out, even on the astral plane, even if not on the physical realm, but like the astral plane, you might have just been there to comfort them whenever they were sad. They would kind of lock into your energy, and you'd be driving and suddenly just boom, start thinking of them, and then be like, why am I drained? And why have I been thinking obsessively of this person for the last 3 hours? And I was trying to get work done, and this came out of nowhere. And what the heck? Like, this is so odd. And now they're gone again. And that might be this person locking into you on the astral plane. And now it feels like you're taking your independence back. And I feel like, as much as this person may not like it, they kind of have to respect it and understand it. So anyways, guys, I really hope that resonated. Let me know how it did, because this pile has me curious. I don't know what this drama is, but I need to know. I always need to know about the drama. So please let me know in the comments. I'm always just a little bit nosy, just a little bit. But anyway, let me know, and make sure to like this video if it did resonate with you. Hit the thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Hit the bell so you can find out as soon as I post and be the first to know. And if you guys would like to see more of my readings, then head on over to my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. Once you sign up, you get access to about 45 or maybe more now additional readings about life, love, spirituality, career, relocation, all different kinds of topics. I just posted one all about what's coming next in your career, so that's an exciting one to watch. But like I said, there's so many topics to choose from. We also vote on new ones and suggest new ones. You guys suggest new ones, and then we vote on those. So it's very interactive. There's a lot to see and do over on Patreon, and I would love to see you guys there. If you want to join, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description as well. And if you guys would also like to get a private one-on-one reading with me, then you can sign up for that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and sign up for a half hour or a full hour session with me and have me pull tarot for you, channel intuitively, channel mediumship, or do astrology for you, or do a little bit of a mix. So you get to kind of decide how it goes, the length, and a lot of other things. So if you'd like to sign up for that, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and link is in the description for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you guys very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 3, so if you guys picked this black obsidian, this is going to be your reading. Anyways, guys, let's get into the cards. You guys got Dry Desert, Sad Embrace, Movement. And two funny things happened before the reading. One, I pulled Dry Desert, and I just automatically knew. I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be a really sad reading. And then the next card I pulled was Sad Embrace, and I was like, okay, cool. It's going to be one of those really heavy ones. Then I had to take a really short break and do something right before the reading that took like 2 seconds, but I remember your person coming through and being like, can you like I'm waiting, let's go, I need to talk to them. Like your person was so anxious, and it felt like as soon as I started pulling cards, they were coming through automatically wanting to talk to you, because I feel like they want to talk to you guys so bad. They have so many messages for you, because honestly it feels like their feelings for you are super deep. Like I feel like this is my kind of heartbroken pile. Like if you pick this pile, your person is effed up about you. They are definitely missing you really strong. I'm going to pull some more cards, but honestly, I'm already getting the vibe that this person really feels kind of lost without you. Like it feels like you not being in their life anymore, it feels like a big loss for them. It feels like something that, it's almost like I just heard lacking oxygen. So it's almost like they're missing this essential part for themselves that they need so bad. So we got so far 5 of Wands, Knight of Swords, and the 2 of Wands. I just heard this person say something like, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to improve. They might be trying to make changes in your life. In their life, if you ask them to make certain changes, like if you were like, listen, you need to be more responsible, or you need to be more timely, or whatever, I feel like this person is working on that. The relationship with you might have triggered some like soul wound things, which is normal and happened in the karmic connection. So don't feel bad about it, but it might have made them reflect on like things they need to change, or even brought up feelings of lack of self-worth. Sometimes when you like someone so much, you know, of course it's going to hit a lot harder than someone you don't really care as much about. So this person might be taking the loss of you really hard, and it might be causing them to do a lot of introspection, think about themselves a lot, spend some nights alone listening to like sad music and thinking about you and being very wistful about you. For some of you guys, this is feeling to me kind of recent or fresh, honestly. So this might have been a recent separation. If it was happening a while ago, wow, they still have really strong, intense feelings that almost feel like it just happened yesterday. So it feels like they're still very in it. Now I'm hearing that song, Right Where You Left Me by Taylor Swift, which is all about still being, you know, upset over a breakup, like in that song, like years and years later. But either way, I feel like if this was recent or a long time ago, this person is definitely taking it really hard. This person, I feel like they're almost like looking at their own flaws, you know? And so they're kind of taking on the blame for why things didn't work out. I don't know what happened, obviously. It's a general reading, but I feel like for them, they're like, yeah, I couldn't measure up, or I couldn't do what I was supposed to do. Maybe they're feeling, some of them I feel like they weren't brave enough. They needed to be more brave when it came to you. Maybe they never told you fully how they felt, and that was why things kind of petered out. And for others, maybe it was like bad behavior within a relationship. But either way, I feel like this person is taking a lot of ownership and kind of claiming responsibility for everything, for why things didn't happen so well. Let me get more cards. Oh, wow. The 4 of Wands reversed. So they might have thought you guys were going to get married one day. They might have really felt like the connection with you was super deep and you guys were building something. In a way, I feel like this person, you know, they might be also like going through a crisis of confidence with like their romantic abilities, because you know the Knight of Cups is very charming. They kind of charm everyone around them. It's probably, you know, one of the most it probably is like the most charming card in the whole tarot. Someone who's just knows what to say, could get along with anyone, is just that beautiful, like exalted water energy that's just kind of dreamy and romantic and fun and easy. That's kind of the Knight of Cups. And when it's reversed like that, combined with the other energies I'm getting, I feel like this person, it's almost like if I could only have been that guy, if I could only, and especially, and Knight of Swords as well. Knight of Swords is very well spoken, more exalted air, so knows what to say, again with the charm. So I feel like this person is like, if I had just known what to say, if I could just have spoken up, if I could have just said this. It's almost like I'm hearing someone like rehearse a line, like being like, hi, Deborah, how are you? Would you want to go get coffee this weekend? Or like not even launch into that, but like, hey, what are you drinking? Oh, coffee? Oh, yum, I love coffee. Do you want to go get coffee? Like, I feel like this person might have practiced something like that, or might be like, if I'd only said that. They might have like texted, like, you know, written out texts and then deleted them. Or, you know, thought of things they could DM you and then deleted it, or felt like calling you and then never called. I felt like this person really was like wanting to do certain things, and then it's almost like they couldn't muster up the courage, and that's why now they're feeling very like sad. Like I feel like for them, it's not just the loss of the relationship, but it's also like a feeling of failure. You know, it's a feeling of like I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I completely like struck out and I completely ruined this and it's my fault and I should have done it. And honestly, I feel like with you, they felt such a deep connection. Like I feel like this person doesn't usually get along with someone the way they got along with you, doesn't usually have the kind of conversations y'all had, the kind of connection you guys had. Like it feels like you guys could just talk about anything. And I'm hearing they really love your laughter and like you're just an easy person to talk to. They just said to me, pile three is so nice. And it's like for them, that's a big deal. They love being around a nice person, a kind person. And I feel like you would talk to kind of anyone. Like you're just a good person. You're like a good egg, you know? You probably are like kind to service people, like waiters and waitresses. You probably try to be really nice to them. And I feel like this person felt such a connection with that. Like they really enjoyed being around you. To them, you had a really positive energy that just like lifted them up. And so again, like they don't blame you for any of this. They're kind of like pile three is perfect. Like pile three couldn't even do anything wrong if they wanted to. At least in their eyes, they see you as pretty perfect. So I feel like they're taking it really hard. And again, they don't get to have these kinds of conversations with a lot of people. Talking to you was just a lot of fun. With the Five of Wands, it might have even sometimes been quips or like playful teasing, kind of like play arguments, that kind of a thing. But I don't feel like that was the case for everyone, but the Five of Wands is there, so that might have been the case for some of you guys. But for a lot of you guys, it just feels like universally the conversation would have been really amazing. And honestly, I feel like in some ways this connection with you brought back this person's confidence. Like I'm hearing I felt so alone. And I feel like when you came in, it made this person realize that like love is possible for them, which I know sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But I feel like in a way this person had just never met someone they connected with the way they connected with you. Maybe they had had other relationships or other, you know, conversations and connections, obviously. But I don't feel like they just hit it off and felt like they could talk for hours and felt like, wow, like I totally get pile three. They're so awesome. They're so easy to get along with. And then when you came along, it was like, wow, is this what it can be like? Is this the kind of conversations we can have? Is this the kind of, you know, like, is this what it feels like to wake up in the morning and look forward to seeing them? Is this what it feels like to have someone that like you just get along with from day one and you don't even need to have an awkward phase? It's just so awesome with them, and I feel like I can trust them. And then I almost feel like for some of you guys, you expected this person to like escalate, like maybe they needed, you know, to take the next step to ask you out or something like that, and this person just never did it. But I feel like they're almost saying they chickened out, or they just weren't good enough. They didn't have enough power or strength or bravery that they should have had. And I feel like that's something that this person, yeah, definitely looks back on now like, oh, I just can't believe I was so stupid. And with a lot of regret, not gonna lie, a lot of regret. Let me pull some song cards for pile three. So I'm gonna close my eyes while I do these. So there's my song cards for pile three. Beyond Love, Beach House. Wow, I'm not gonna do these because they kind of fell out. Instant Crush, Daft Punk, and Julian Casablancas. So, like I was saying, it's funny because I said something about you guys having an instantly good conversation. So yeah, I feel like Instant Crush backs that up. And again, it might have also been instant attraction. Like I feel like this person is like, I feel like it's giving biggest fan vibe. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they're like, pile three is so nice. Pile three is so pretty. Pile three is so awesome. Pile three is just this. And I'm like, okay. I don't know how accurate you are at this point because you just seem to love everything pile three does, which is awesome. But I mean, I don't know how, like, I don't even want to like describe your personality off of pile three because I'm like, I think y'all are like an unreliable narrator at this point. Like you guys just, I don't even know if pile three is that nice or it's just the rose colored glasses you view pile three from with everything they're doing being perfect. Like they could literally sing completely off tune and you would be like, they sing like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. Their singing is amazing, you know, like I feel like you could do anything and pile three would be like just loving it. And so, or your person, pile three, would be loving it. And so, yeah, I feel like it's like as soon as you walked into the room and as soon as they saw you at first, they were like, oh my God, pile three is so gorgeous. Pile three is so amazing. I hope I get to talk to that person. And then it's almost like they might have been intimidated by you, but like you were friendly or something like that. And I feel like the first time you guys met, it's like they could barely like function to talk to you. Like they could barely muster up the courage, and they might have looked kind of nervous or weird the first time, and that would be why, if that's the case. Let me get more cards for pile three. Sunday morning, no doubt. That's interesting because that's a song about someone becoming empowered after a breakup. And the lyrics are like, sappy, pathetic little me, that was the girl I used to be. You had me on my knees. But then it's like, and then she says, but I'd trade you places any day. I never thought you could be that way, but you look like me on Sunday. Basically saying, now you're the sappy, pathetic one. Now you're the like idiot one, and you're the lovesick one that wants to get back together. So I feel like for some of you guys, they see you as having moved on, or they see you as being in a really good place, or you just not being as upset about it. I feel like for some of them, they do see you as upset, but they also see you as like, pile three is going to thrive. Pile three is going to do really well. Pile three is probably going to be really functional in another relationship and find someone else and just make it work because they're just that great. They're just that easy going and good and fun to be around, and like who wouldn't want to date them? So they're gonna have their pick, they're gonna move on, they're gonna have this great dating life, and here I am stuck, and I'm never gonna find someone like pile three again, and I blew it, and I'm a clown. Like I feel like, yeah, it's reminding me of the clown meme, you know, of like putting on the clown wig and stuff. What does this one say? Moondance, Van Morrison. Let's get some more. Let's get a couple more. This one says, turn to white. She to him, she and him. And Criminal, Britney Spears. I love that song. But anyway, yeah. Oh my gosh. And this one I kind of like was fiddling around, putting the cards back in. Love at first sight. So again, I really feel like it was a love at first sight situation. I really feel like this person saw you instantly and was like, wow, who is that? And then kind of couldn't believe that you were so nice, that you were so cool, or maybe that you guys had the same interest in something, and they were like, oh, like pile three is too pretty. They're never going to be into like Star Wars like I am or something, and you were into it. Or they're never going to be like a cool person to talk to and funny because they're like too attractive to be funny. You know what I mean? Sometimes people have those stereotypes, but whatever. I think that's cope, but whatever. People say that if someone's attractive, they can be super funny. They might have thought something like that, and then like you started talking and you're like really funny, really cool, everything. And I feel like this person's just like, oh my God, how is pile three real? Like, how do they exist? And they're not just a figment of my imagination. Yeah, I think this person, like, I feel like it's like with you, they felt like they had this instant camaraderie, like almost like you guys had friend vibes as well. It wasn't just romantic, I want to hook up with you vibes. It was like, you're cool and I like you as a person and I get along with you as a person. And honestly, I really like this. Like, this is a good long-term marriage energy. Honestly, if this person had mustered up the courage, I can see y'all being like in a long-term relationship, being married or something. I honestly feel like this person just chickened out. And honestly, I feel like as more time passes, they're just like, oh yeah, now I really can't text them. I'm gonna really look like an idiot and a clown if I text them now. I haven't even seen them for months or whatever, or I haven't seen them for weeks. Like, yeah, this person definitely, it feels like they just feel stuck, like they're in a rock and a hard place. And honestly, there's also something very sophisticated and smart about you guys that this person loves, that I feel like keeps them coming back, is like how smart you guys are. You're kind of refined, you're kind of witty. You're not just like, again, I don't know how this person is highly biased though. No offense, but I'm like, sir, you might need to like just stop describing pile three because I don't trust a word at this point. You're clearly just, like I said, like they would be the president of your fan club if you guys had one. But yeah, they basically love everything you guys are doing, everything you guys are up to. Let me get some of these cards. What would pile three's person say to them? I feel like one thing they would say is something like, I'm sorry, and I wish I could have done a better job. The Horse King, assistant control. This person might be wishing they were more powerful, especially if they're like a man. They might be like, I wish I was more of a man. I wish I'd been bolder. I wish I had had more bravery to come up to pile three. Or if they're a woman, they might be wishing they had been more assertive with you, or maybe more flirtatious in a feminine way to like send you the messages to like come ask them out. But I feel like this person wishes they had been more forthright in some way, and wishes like they're like, I feel like they compare themselves a lot to other people, like to other men or women. Like if they're a man, they're comparing themselves to other men. If they're a woman, they're comparing themselves to other women. But maybe they're like, look at like, you know, these other guys know how to pull girls and they would have totally made it work with pile three, and I'm such a loser and I can't do it. Or these other girls know how to get these guys to come over and talk to them, and like I can't even send a signal. But yeah, this person, you know, self-sabotage. This is, I guess you could call it that. I don't even think it's that. I just think they have a lot of like, they need a little, I'll be honest, they need a little more discipline. They need a little bit more of that ability just to go up and take the L. And if they get rejected, oh well. And if they get accepted, that's awesome. But they just, I think, are have a little fear of rejection with you. And it makes sense because again, they like you so much that I feel like it would just hit them a lot harder than if it was some random other person, like some random nobody. They'd be like, okay, they said no anyway, I don't care. But with you, it's like if you had been like, no, I don't want to go on a date with you, sorry, this is awkward, they would have been like devastated and like never recovered. So I feel like in a way they just avoided that by never asking you out, and now they're like, oh, okay, so the end result is I don't get to go on a date with them, and pile three is dating other people. Awesome, cool, mission accomplished. So yeah, I feel like they do spend a lot of time like late at night sitting around listening to music, thinking of you. Honestly, this person's giving a little bit of emo vibes. Like I feel like they definitely might sit around listening to sad stories, listening to sad songs. But it's funny I said sad stories because I was thinking of Beach House and the song We Got Beyond Love, and then they have an album, Modern Love Stories. That's totally a sad, like dreamy, atmospheric album I could see these people listening to. It's also a great album if you like atmospheric, dreamy music. So Beach House, Modern Love Stories, if you haven't listened, it's super good. But I feel like I could see them listening to any kind of like sad, dreamy, drifty music, like about, you know, or whatever the guy equivalent is of that, where it's all sad and mopey, you know, because I feel like this person feels maybe like Lil Peep or something. This person just feels very like they're never going to meet someone again that makes them feel the way they felt with you. And they're never going to meet someone again that has a conversation points that you guys had together. Like I feel like with you it was just so instantaneous, this instant rapport, whatever, anyway, between you guys, where you just honestly like instantly started talking, instantly shared conversation, instantly could maybe even finish each other's sentences or shared a lot of interest. And yeah, like it's a hard thing for this person to give up. Let's get some astro dice for pile three. So we got the 12th house. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. We got Sagittarius and we got the nodes. Wow. And it was a south node, so they might believe that you guys are soulmates, or knew each other in a past life. They might be feeling that way. They might be a Pisces because we did get the 12th house, and then we got Sag, and then we got the nodes. So let me spin this one more time so we get another astrological planet energy, the sun. So we have Leo, Sag, and Pisces. So it definitely can give off Pisces vibes. You know, Pisces, we are known for being a little mopey and loving to sit around and listen to sad music and cry. Not gonna lie, it is kind of fun if you are a Pisces or a Cancer to do that. So, or a Scorpio. We do like that. It is a stereotype for a reason. So maybe they are a Pisces, or they have some of those placements where they get like real emotional about things. But yeah, I feel like it's funny. This person is building up like themselves. You know, they're maybe even stepping into their identity, and maybe in the future they might be able to step towards you. Like once they become more of who they're supposed to be, once they've built themselves up a little bit, they might be able to step towards you and make it work. This might be the kind of connection that is so solid that like in the future, it's okay if time passes. Because I do feel like one thing I like about this person is they're not an F-boy, they're not a player, they're not just like making you feel this way, but then they're actually talking to 16 other people at the same time. They really do care about you. They really do like you guys. And honestly, their feelings for you are super, super genuine. And it feels like it's very rare for them. It feels like they don't feel this way with like anyone else. And you were like this incredible, like shooting star that burst into their life. And they definitely reminisce about you, think about you, and honestly also wonder what you're up to. Like I feel like they try to keep tabs on you, but honestly I also feel like one thing I like is they're not creeping and stalking in like a disrespectful way. Like I feel like if they were going to follow you, they might do it openly. They might like actually follow you on their main page rather than making a burner account or just checking your photos anonymously. I mean, some of them might do it anonymously, but I also feel like they're not, again, they're not trying to be all like shady and playery to me. They're not trying to like run game. I feel like a lot of them are genuinely sad. And if they're not following you, it might be that they don't even want to look at your pictures because they're so sad, or they do check it anonymously, but again, not in like that creepy, like, well, what is she up to way, but in a like, I'm so sad, I'm such an idiot, and now I don't want to be creepy and follow her. You know what I mean? So I like the forthrightness that this person is bringing. And I do feel like they're doing some self-work, working on themselves. And they're also wanting you to know that in the meantime, if you are doing self-work or living your best life, then that's what they want for you. They honestly want the best for you. So if you're like, well, I'm going to go on vacation and I would feel bad now if I like hook up with someone because, you know, I don't want pile 3 to be like devastated and like completely crying all the time just because I had like a summer fling on a vacation or something. But no, I feel like this person wants you to live your best life. They like you. They see you as like so charismatic and like someone who deserves the world. So I feel like they're like very mature, honestly. Instead of being like super overly crazily possessive, they're like, no, I understand I have no claim on pile 3 right now. I'm working to change that, but I'm not going to be mad in the meantime. Like I kind of expect that, and I'm kind of beating myself up for it. So I'm not happy about it. It's not that I'm like giving permission or encouraging that, but I'm just saying like I want pile 3 above all to be happy, and then hopefully I can come back together in the future and actually do what I'm supposed to do. And that's what I'm working on in the meantime, becoming more of that person. So let's get some final cards from this deck. Here, please give me guidance for pile 3. We want to know about what the person wants them to know. So we got Jar of Dreams. So they might be asleep. Okay, I cut that part out because there was one card that I just, it's a little too, it's not too bad, but I just try to keep everything super PG with the images and everything on YouTube. So anyway, but they might be dreaming of you. They might be having you come up while they sleep. You guys might be visiting each other on the astral plane while you guys are sleeping. What is this? This one says take action. I do feel like this person is plotting, trying to strategize, trying to think of how they can take action. Oh my God, super strong connection while you guys are sleeping. This one says beauty sleep. I do feel like this person is thinking of like how they can improve themselves, how they can be better. They might even watch like YouTube videos about like how to approach a girl or how to flirt with a guy or something. Like rehabilitation, exactly. They kind of put themselves in rehab to learn to get better for you. And we got best case scenario. So I feel like this person, you know, what I like about it is they really are thinking of like how they can get better, how they can become a better person, and how they could become a better partner for you. And like I said, if you guys actually did get together, I could actually see you guys making a really good solid couple that like were together forever. Like one of those couples that you meet where you're just like, oh, they seem so connected and beautiful and the energy is great. Unlike a lot of couples that you meet and you're like, oh my God, this is the craziest, most toxic energy. I feel like you guys have a beautiful, like peaceful vibe between you guys. And it's like I said, like friends. And not to say there's not an attraction, there totally, totally is. But it's like there's this deep, solid foundation of friendship, liking, genuinely liking each other. Not like, oh, I don't like this person, but they're hot, so I'll tolerate them. But like, I really like this person. Pile 3 is awesome. Pile 3 is so cool to be around. I love pile 3. So yeah, they're kind of like your fan in the meantime. So I would say don't feel bad about like having fun, living your best life. This person seems much more mature than the average, to be honest. So I feel like they would be like, no, I get it. And pile 3 has to live their life. And like, I am making strides and I'm working on it. So hopefully we can run into each other or see each other again. But with this pile, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys did have some kind of reunion, because the vibe is just really good. The vibes are on. The vibes are the opposite of off. They are on. I love this. So anyways, guys, I really hope this resonated. Let me know if it did in the comments. I'm always curious and a little bit nosy to hear about what's going on with you guys. So please let me know what this is. I just would like to know, because I'm a nosy person. And then also make sure to hit the like button if it did resonate with you. Give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and turn those notifications on so you can be the first to know as soon as I post. And if you guys would like to see more of my readings, then head on over to my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. Once you sign up, you get access to about 45 additional readings. I think we have over that now, about life, love, spirituality, career, relocation, money, so 18 plus readings, so many different subjects to choose from. I just posted one all about what's coming next in your career, so that's a really good one to watch. But there's so much content to choose from over there. We also you guys suggest new ones, and then we vote on new topics, so it's very interactive. Anyway, I would love to have you join our little tribe and community over at Patreon, so head down to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description if you want to join. And like I said, as soon as you sign up, you get access to everything. So I hope to see you guys there. And if you guys would like to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me. Have me pull tarot, channel intuitively, channel mediumship, or do astrology for you. You get to decide, and you get to pick the length. You get to pick if it's a year ahead reading or love reading, career reading, whatever you want. So yeah, if you want to get that, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com. Link is in the description for that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will be back very soon for another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 4, welcome to your reading. So if you guys picked this jade crystal, this is going to be your reading. Anyways, guys, let's get into the cards. So you guys got spirit of place, home, and rescue. So the first thing that's coming up is that your person has been brooding about you a lot, thinking about you a lot lately. Something conjured this up in them. I feel like they might have seen a movie or heard a song or read a book or watch a TV show, but there is something that brought up, or something happening in the media, who knows, but something has brought you up to the forefront of their mind again, and they have been thinking about you quite a lot lately, reflecting on your time together and just replaying certain points of your relationship. This person also might be, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit concerned for everything you have going on in your life right now. Like, I feel like I don't know what you guys are doing, but maybe they have a sense of like worry about like, I haven't heard from pile 4 in a while, or I hope everything is good with them, or like they kind of have been MIA on social media or something like that. But I feel like they definitely have a little bit of still concern. Like, it's almost like they still feel protective of you, or they still like look out for you, even if you guys aren't talking or are in no contact. They still definitely have this protective instinct over you. And I feel like they have been doing a lot of replaying and kind of like also acknowledging the parts of their relationship where they weren't as good to you as they should have been. One thing that's really interesting is I had kind of forgotten until I was shuffling that this was the deck I used, and I pulled the same card. I pulled this deck for the other cards as well, but you guys get 4 cards because I used the deck for the pick a card, and that one was making a choice reversed, and I thought that would be interesting. I just randomly took that one off the top of the deck and used it for the pick a card. But anyway, I feel like that is super strongly coming through with a message of how this person might be reflecting back on them making a choice about your relationship and really disliking the choice they made, and almost like disliking their behavior at the time. And honestly, it doesn't come through just as like a temporary regret, or kind of like, like a little bit of regret that sometimes can come through in the other piles, but like a deep-seated regret that almost feels unfixable to them, or like, I was so stupid, or like, I can't believe I did this, and kind of worrying that they hurt you a little bit, or worrying that they, might have really upset you in some way. I feel like this person is only now starting to honor the depth of the connection you guys had and really admitting to themselves how special and important it was, and how it wasn't just any old connection, and it wasn't just, I feel like this person valued it to a certain extent. Like, yeah, they were like, yeah, I care about Pile for, but I also feel like to some extent they were running from their feelings, and consciously they didn't want to admit how much they cared about you. And I feel like only now they're able to like really look at it and be like, yeah, I was a total idiot. Like, I feel like in a way back then, like they knew they cared about you, but it's like they didn't want to go that deep. They didn't want to acknowledge those things. They wanted to pretend like everything was fine, and they wanted to run away from their feelings. And I feel like only now they've realized that they've hurt both themselves and you, and it's starting to kind of dawn on them like, I really might have messed things up in a very deep way. Especially because I feel like if they have been trying, yeah, maybe you guys aren't posting on social media, but if they have been trying to be in another relationship or connection with someone, they might be finally realizing that, like, I'm never going to feel this way that I felt about Pile 4. I might be in another relationship, but like, I've never had that same spark. I thought I would. I kept telling myself, just date this person, just move on. Just, sometimes they give advice about getting over a relationship, and they'll say the best way to get over someone is to get under someone else. So maybe they were trying to do that, and they thought, I'll just kind of date this person, and sooner or later I'm going to forget Pile 4. Pile 4 is not that interesting, or like, they might have told themselves that they're just another person, but now they're like, okay, yeah, I really did this, and this was me, and this was a big mistake, and I don't think these feelings I have for Pile 4 are ever going to die, so I just screwed something up and in a big way, and it's like not really fixable. With the Eight of Cups, it might have been that you were like, yeah, like they just left randomly. There wasn't even that big of a fight. There wasn't anything that bad going on, and they just suddenly just dipped. And I feel like this person, wow, it's really funny how that spun around, right? And then it landed upright with the Ten of Swords. So when it's upright like that, yeah, I feel like this person, they really are going through it. They really are feeling this intense sadness. And it's so funny how it spun around, because depending on how the Ten of Swords shows up, it can be someone who's like running from their feelings, not wanting to admit how sad they are, not wanting to admit defeat, not wanting to admit that like, I really am going through it. I really have reached this depths of despair. And it's so funny how it spun around for a while, because I feel like this person like really wanted to run from their feelings for the longest time, didn't want to admit how sad they were, didn't want to admit that you guys had this connection in the first place, didn't want to admit how they felt. And I feel like they're finally starting to, it's almost like they had this bluster or this energy about them because they were running. Sometimes when we're doing something dysfunctional, like that's when we'll get, the burst of energy. It's kind of like the drunk person who's like, hey, let's go get Taco Bell, and let's walk through the drive-thru, and let's do this crazy thing, and let's and you're like, it's 3 a.m. and no one has a car, and like, what are you talking about? Like, we don't even have the money to pay for this. No one has cash on them, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And but it's always the drunk person with so much energy that's like, no, we can do it, and blah, blah, blah. And I almost feel like, sometimes when we're doing something really stupid, we get this like rush of like, yeah, let me do it. And I feel like that's what this person was doing for a while. It's like they kind of felt empowered by, I'm going to forget Pile 4. I'm going to just do this. You know what? Screw Pile 4. I don't care. And, their feelings, like, I don't care about them that much. I don't even have deep feelings for them, and they probably don't care about me, and whatever. And now it's like, okay, so this is how it is. Okay, so that didn't work out so well, and now I'm stuck with it. And now I really put myself in a bad place. And I feel like this person, they might have even finally heard of the concept of like twin flames or soulmates. Like they might have never heard that concept before, and maybe they stumbled across YouTube videos. Maybe they stumbled across my channel. No, I'm kidding. But maybe they stumbled across something that finally clued them into the idea of like, soul contracts or twin flames or something like that, and then they thought of you. I feel like there's just been some kind of shift in their perspective within the past few weeks. They might have been on your mind a lot more recently, and I'm hearing that's why, is because they've been thinking of you a lot and then just processing and replaying certain things. Because I feel like it's almost like before they had all this bluster, they had all this energy, almost like bravado, almost like I'm going to show pile 4, or I'm going to show everyone I don't care about pile 4 because all my friends are asking me about them and everyone thinks I'm so in love and everyone is calling me a simp. So you know what? I'm going to do the opposite and this is going to be awesome and I'm going to show everyone. And now they're like, okay, I got myself in a real predicament. Like I'm hearing or I'm seeing these images of like someone who got stuck in a cave, and it's almost like they kept pushing themselves forward because they were like, just a little bit more and this will be great and I'm just going to get out of here eventually, and then they got completely stuck. And I feel like that's the vibe, is like this person had all this forward momentum. They had this idea that sooner or later this was going to work out for them, and they were going to show the world and that they were going to be thriving. And I feel like in a way, it's not that they were trying to get revenge, but it's like they were trying to run from their feelings so much, because honestly, I feel like they were afraid of the intensity of how they felt for you. They were afraid of how drawn to you they were, because I feel like you guys are, first of all, very physically attractive and beautiful. And honestly, for pile 4, I know that doesn't sound like a disadvantage, but I do feel like a lot of times people can sometimes be intimidated by dating really attractive people because they're like, oh, this person might cheat on me, or this person could cheat on me, or this person will always wear the pants in the relationship because they're so gorgeous, or I'm never going to be able to like even have a straight discussion with pile 4 about anything because they're so beautiful. And I feel like in a way, because you were so beautiful, it made this person feel very intimidated by you, caged in by you, a little bit threatened, kind of like, I can't wear the pants in this relationship because I think pile 4 is so gorgeous. So for them, I feel like for a long time they were just like focused on, let me get away from this. Let me pretend like it's not happening. Let me just run the opposite direction and just get away from my feelings. I feel like that was the goal for the longest time. And now that they finally, it feels like you were like, okay, bye. And you just let them go. And now they're kind of realizing, I don't know if I like where I ended up with this. Let me get some message cards or some song cards. Excuse me. I'm going to close my eyes while I pull, by the way. So excuse me if my pulling is really messy. So we got Toxic, Britney Spears, and those fell out randomly. So I'm just going to not use them. But, oh, okay, this is getting really messy. Let me get another one. Spirit, please give me a message for See, I'm feeling pain in my heart, literally. Waiting in Vain, Bob Marley. And Thinking of You, Frank Ocean. I'll use that since it just one fell out. What songs do we have for pile 4, Spirit? The Heart Wants What It Wants, Selena Gomez. And again, maybe this person thought your connection was toxic. A lot of these songs are kind of about toxic connections, or connections where there was like some heartbreak or some hurt or some pain. Thinking of You, same, like, but it's like, at the end of the day, I can't run away from this person. I can't stay away from them. I feel like maybe I tried, and maybe I wish that like I had an easier time. Maybe I wish I had an easier connection with someone that didn't pull so much of my heartstrings and make me feel so intensely. Death by a Thousand Cuts by Taylor Swift, and we got Mojeju by Brigitte Bardot. But with Death by a Thousand Cuts, like sometimes when you're really into someone, even though that's a breakup song, even when you're really, really into someone, it can feel like Death by a Thousand Cuts. Like when you like someone so much, and if they're like, oh, that sweater's kind of a weird color, to you, it feels like they just literally like slapped you across the face, like it's the worst thing that happened, that they said that your sweater was a weird color and you'll never wear that sweater again. You'll probably burn it. I feel like in a way, the intensity of the feeling they had with you made them run away from it. But now they're like sitting with their feelings a lot more. I feel like they've had time to have some reflection and feelings if you keep coming back to them. We got No One's Gonna Love You, Band of Horses, and the lyric is, no one's gonna love you the way that I do. And I think the other lyric is, because things start ripping at the seams. My little lisp is trying to pop out. But anyway, things start ripping at the seams, and then the whole thing comes tumbling down. And I feel like that's almost like what happened. Like it feels like there was like almost like a house of cards or dominoes or like Jenga or something and just like a collapse. Just like, oh my God, everything is completely and totally like breaking down, and it shouldn't. And I feel like with this person, it's almost like they didn't do anything to fix it or correct it. It feels like it was something that spiraled out of control really fast, or something that devolved really fast, or some kind of sudden end to this connection that I feel like kind of took you by surprise, and also kind of took them by surprise. I feel like they knew what they were doing, but also they didn't really think it through. Again, I feel like they were just in runner energy. They were trying to get away from their emotions. So they just kind of were like, burn it to the ground. Why not? You know, who cares? And now I feel like they kind of are at a point where they're able to actually pause, reflect. We got Daylight by Taylor Swift. So they might have even had a season of peace in their life where maybe they had time to pause and think about everything and kind of collect themselves. And then I feel like in that moment, it's been very emotional, feeling the feelings for you come up, and realizing that the connection you had is not something they're going to be able to easily replicate with anyone else. They're not going to be able to just instantly find that on any street corner or on Tinder or whatever. The connection they had with you was like a soul vibe type thing. And yeah, because I'm hearing something like, I love you for all your little flaws. I love you for all your little imperfections. Isn't that a John Legend song? Am I like quoting John Legend? I don't know. But yeah, I feel like there's something about you, and honestly, this person felt protective of you at one point, and then it's almost like they got so afraid that they just ran the other direction. And maybe that's why they're kind of regretful. It almost feels like they abandoned you, or you feel abandoned by them. Maybe in your soul contract they were supposed to like protect you, or maybe this is a pattern throughout your lifetimes together, is they've abandoned you in other lifetimes as well, and you're like, yep, I'm done with you now. This is the last lifetime where you will do this to me. But I feel like this person has a sense of gravity about the situation, and they're finally pausing to reflect and admit, like, I messed up. Let's get some cards for pile 4, Spirit. What do they want pile 4 to know? The Spirit Whisperer, divine guidance, higher knowing. So they are just telling you, and they're like, they already know this, by the way, but they're saying, they're telling me you already know this, pile 4, that you're already aware of this, but they still want to emphasize that you guys have this connection on the astral plane, and that you guys do talk on the astral plane, and they want you to trust that. Like if you're like, oh, pile 4 came to me in a dream, but oh, I was probably just imagining things. I was like watching a love story before bed, and I probably was just reminded of them or something. No, they are definitely coming to you that way, and they want you to like trust that. They want you to like actually listen to them when they come forward and step towards you on the astral plane. We got the Dragon's Duel, inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. So this person might still be struggling with the choice that they made of cutting things off or not stepping towards you the way they should have. They might still be struggling with feelings of like, I should reach out. I really want to talk to them. But I feel like in a way, it feels kind of like the decision has been made, like past tense. But I feel like they're very regretful about that. And I feel like part of the conflict inside of them is just this sense of a major missed opportunity, kind of like someone staring at the last bus as it pulls away for the day. And they just know they missed it, and they know there's nothing they can do. And that's it, you know? And I feel like this person sees you as, you probably wouldn't even want to talk to them. You probably moved on. You're probably happy or thriving, or just that there was something that went down between you guys where maybe they did something bad, or you just wouldn't be open to forgiveness with them. Like if they called you, you'd hang up, or if they texted you, you wouldn't respond and you'd block them. So I feel like there's a sadness to them. There's a bittersweet quality of them looking back over your memories and being like, wow, we had so much fun together. And I think finally admitting to themselves that like, yeah, they were in love. Like I feel like in a way they ran away from that feeling for the longest time. They didn't want to admit it or say it to themselves, but now they're like, that this is love. This has to be, because I keep thinking of them and I can't get away from them, and they're in my mind so much. Like what else would you call it? You know, this is love. And so I think now they're finally willing to have that conversation with themselves, but it's painful because at this point it feels like they feel they can't do anything about it, whereas in the past, even if they had the sadness, they could still have time to fix it. But now it feels like they feel like they're out of time and they're done. You're done with them. We got the Phoenix, resurrection, surrender to change, keeper of the scales, fairness, balance, and the resting tree, patience and stillness. So I do feel like this person has, I don't know. It's funny because I feel like for the longest time they just wanted to run from this connection. They just wanted to pretend like they weren't even feeling anything. They didn't care. They weren't interested, blah blah blah. That what you guys had was no big deal, easily replicatable, and they were just going to find someone else just like you that they felt the same way about, and it was going to be no big deal. But with you now, I feel like they're finally, willing to be honest, but I don't know if they're still are going to think they have a chance with you, because I almost feel like there's a very defeatist attitude of like, it's done, it's over, I don't have a chance anymore. And I don't even know if you guys are like on board with that. Like, I feel like some of you guys, if they did come back to you and were really honest and like confess their feelings, you would be open to it. But I feel like this person honestly has a hard time making themselves vulnerable. So maybe in the same way they were running earlier by being like, I don't care, maybe they're still running by being like, yeah, I care, but I can't do anything about it. And you're like, yes, you can. Hello, you could text, call. It's 2023. You have endless opportunity to get back in touch with someone more than any other time in history. But I feel like this person, like I said, they kind of don't want to have to like put themselves out there in that way. They still have a fear of rejection from you guys. Let me get some of these cards. So Spirit, please come through these cards and give us some guidance. Claim your energy. Okay, I feel like in a way this person would like to like claim your energy a little bit. Like, I feel like there's something about you where honestly, pile 4, it feels like you guys have been really independent lately. You've just been doing your own thing, living your best life. Maybe you've been, I don't know, like focusing on your career or traveling or going out with friends or something. But I feel like they can see you really thriving, working on yourself, glowing up. And I feel like in a way this person wishes they still had a claim over you, wishes they still had access to you. Like, as you do well, like I feel like this person, the feeling of bittersweet, missing the boat, missing the bus, just grows and grows within them. The feeling of like, oh, yeah, that was a mistake, just gets bigger and bigger, because I feel like some of you guys are doing really well and they can see that. They can see that a lot of you guys have worked on yourself and you guys are just flourishing. You guys are just doing so good. And some of you guys are forming really intense connections with other people. You're moving on, or you're dating, or you're out with friends. But either way, I feel like you're out there socializing or enjoying the world. And this person can see that. And honestly, I feel like they always thought in a way deep down that you were always going to sit by and wait for them and they would always have access to you. And now they're starting to admit, and it's starting to dawn on them that like, no, dude, you never had a signed I mean, maybe you did on the astral plane, but in this physical realm, this person doesn't really owe you anything. And so now they're like, okay, this is happening. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this person spent like last weekend watching The Notebook or some other sappy story and just reminiscing about your time together. I want to get some astro dice for pile 4. Okay, so we got the first house, we got Jupiter, so Sagittarius, and we also got Virgo. So those might be some of their astrological placements, Aries, Sag, Virgo. But to be honest, I feel like with this person, they are kind of coming through to say maybe they were a little overly critical of you at the time. They might have been motivated by being too critical, by being unsatisfied by something you were doing, angry at you over something. Like maybe they didn't like something small you did, and so they blew up over it and made such a huge deal of it and like sabotage the relationship, or maybe there was something they overreacted to. But I feel like it's almost like their impetuous energy they were in has now shifted and changed, because we can also see this transition from like Aries, which is maybe the most impetuous, like spontaneous sign in the zodiac, and then over to Virgo, which is maybe the least impetuous and is much more prone to like introspection and deep thinking and plotting and strategizing. So I feel like this person is saying that like, yeah, I kind of flew off the handle, or I kind of made a split second choice, or I was in a runner energy that wasn't super logical. It was just kind of like, going off my lowest self, like my, fear self or whatever it is, where it wasn't something I'd like thought over deeply and like really came to a great conclusion about, and was like, I feel really comfortable with this decision. I just did it. I just did it and didn't even think. And now I feel like I can see the consequences of it and I really regret it. But this person is very into the idea and keeps thinking about the idea of you expanding your life, doing well, meeting new people, talking to new people, and almost like upset. Like they want to know. For some of you guys, if you haven't posted anyone on your social media, they might be convinced though that you do have someone or you are dating around. And they're like, I need to know who this person is. I need to see this person. They also might be coming to you while you're sleeping, dreaming. They might be like, you know, coming into your dream space, coming into the astral plane to visit you while you're asleep. If you have been dreaming of them lately or having intense dreams, that may be going on. We also got create and progress and connect with nature. So I feel like in a way, some of you guys have been trying to block this person a little bit on the astral plane, but when you're in nature or when you have a moment of pause, or maybe even when you're creating art, you can kind of feel them again. And it's like, I feel like they have sensed the energetic shift within you, that you're moving on a little bit, that you have started blocking them out and you're focusing more on yourself. And honestly, I feel like that has made you level up. Like that has made you look really good. That has made this person take note and be like, yeah, I really messed that one up. Okay, I see pile 4 moving on. I see them doing so good. I see them float up. I see them making progress. I feel like in a way they were hoping that you would like chase after them, run after them, that you were going to be sad, devastated, upset, like not able to take it, you know, beside yourself, like desperate for them. You would come crawling back or whatever the case is. Whereas I feel like you were just like, okay, let me do some inner work. And now I am focusing on myself and I'm leveling up. And I feel like now this person is definitely, it's almost like reality has set in, you know, the truth has finally dawned on them of what's going on. And almost like the lies they could tell themselves in the past about like, no, pile 4 is going to regret this. Pile 4 does miss you, or it's not that deep with pile 4 and you're gonna be fine. It's not even that intense of a relationship. Now they're finally admitting I was completely wrong about that. And I feel like now they do think about you all the time. Like, what are you up to? What is she doing? What is he doing? What, you know, who are they dating? Who are they with? Do they think of me? What's their perception of me? Honestly, this person's a little insecure deep down, although they would never show it. They like to come off as very confident, and they probably seem that way to the vast majority of people, but deep down, they are a little bit like unconfident, especially about you, because they see you as like amazing and honestly out of their league. So in a way, I feel like maybe they were hoping this would like knock your confidence down, and then you'd come back and be like, please, I need you. And then they could have you in the way they would want to, where they get to call the shots. Whereas it feels like you guys just were like, okay, deuces, see ya, bye. And so now they're definitely dealing with like the fallout from all of that. But yeah, that is what I have for you guys piled for. I really hope it resonated. Please let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing your stories, love hearing how it applied to you, what the vibe was in your relationship. So please drop me a comment and let me know, just to satisfy my curiosity. And make sure to hit the like button, give it a thumbs up if it did resonate, and make sure to subscribe, turn those notifications on, hit the bell so you can find out as soon as I post. And if you'd like to see more readings from me, head on over to my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one all about what's happening next in your career, but as soon as you sign up, you get access to all my readings. So over 45 additional readings about life, love, spirituality, so many different topics, relocation, 18+ readings. I mean, we got them all. So, and we also vote on new ones. You guys suggest new ones, then we vote on those. So it's very interactive and there's so much content to choose from. So I hope you'll join us over on Patreon. I would absolutely love to have you there. The link for that is underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description as well. And if you guys would like to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and sign up for a half hour or a full hour session with me. Have me pull tarot for you, channel intuitively or mediumship channeling, or have me do astrology, or have it be a mix of all of those. You can also pick how long it is, and whether it's a year ahead reading, a love reading, career reading, whatever the case may be, or a mix of all those things. You get to really decide. So anyways, I would love to do a reading for you, and if you'd like that, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com. Link for that is in the description as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!